Would you mind shifting over to the seat over there, just so that, just one seat, that's it. You can take a seat here. Sure. So you sat in the center. Mohammed, over here, please. So you sat in the center, you know. Engaging, definitely, but we'd like to bring this context, the whole BI context, from an education point of view. I'm sure there's questions which you have, which you want to address. It's a very hot area, analytics, big data, especially in an academic setting. We'll touch upon a couple of questions, open the discussion to the panel, followed by a quick raffle draw, and then we'll break for prayer. So before we move over to the audience for questions, just want to touch upon a couple of things. Made a couple of notes. All of this obviously is very important in a localized environment. So Saudi Arabia has its own challenges. The language is not English. Does localization feature quite prominently in your discussions with academia, with the ministry, for example, with universities? That's just one area. And the second area is how do you get the right buy-in? For example, some of my friends over here would like to engage in this sort of initiative. They would like deeper insights. They would like more information about their students, about their learning habits, about how the students absorb information, how they absorb all the teachings given to them. What is the sort of career path they take? What are the best courses to provide to them? But how do they go about getting the right buy-in from their IT department, from the seniors? So these are the two areas perhaps you can touch upon. Do you wanna start?
Thank you. Basically, I will answer the first part, and then I need to address the second one. For localization, the tool we are using is Oracle Business Intelligence Suite, and it comes with the support for multilingual, Arabic being one of it. Our applications has been built and designed for the Arab world. As I said, we have more than 100 implementation in Arabic universities all over 11 Arabic countries. So Arabic is the primary language along with English. Being the software vendor for the registration and admission, SIS and ERP, it gives us more experience to know the nature of data and the needs of the end users, and based on that, the application was designed and is implemented. Regarding the second section,
the second area covered getting the right buy-in. So you will have people sitting here who are very keen on analytics. They've read about it. They know that it's an area of focus. They want to invest in it. How do they go about engaging with the departments, with the IT department, with their seniors, with the heads of the university, or within the ministry as well? Various subdivisions want to engage in departmental level analytics, not top level analytics for the CIOs or for the heads of IT. Analytics is getting more pervasive. So how do they go about building a case for departmental level analytics?
See, the way we look at it in deploying and implementing a BI solution in a campus-wide or in a university is basically taking the organization structure and understanding it well, and then providing business areas and dashboards for each specific level and each specific user based on his needs. What we are trying to say here or trying to add is you need to take decisions anyways. So by using BI or the right tools, you are taking decisions based on a concrete evidence, based on actual data that's coming from the actual running systems. So we are trying to eliminate the level of error in each decision is being taken. And in each department, in each level in the university, there are certain decisions to be taken. So it could be used and utilized there as a decision support tool to help the campus-wide life progress and become better.
Sure. Hamad, do you want to add anything to this?
When we talk about a specific let's say, dashboard for a specific department, different from the decision maker.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is a completely Oracle Business Intelligence come up with a solution that give you the flexibility to create the data model that you want, just to gather a requirement based on the department. Then you present the data for a specific department. When we talk about the finance, they have their own dashboard. The decision maker, the dean, they have their own dashboard. Give you the flexibility to control what kind of data you want to present for which department.
Correct. Okay, makes sense. I'll open it up to questions. Does the audience have any questions around analytics? If you do, please raise your hands. Please don't be shy. There's one over here. Can we get a mic down to, yes.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. I would like to understand from you what's the complexity of your system. Every company or every presenter here explain his system or their system by very good way to implement. But no one speaking about the complexity for the employee or for the teacher or colleagues here. Okay? Thank you.
Great, that's a fantastic question. Just to summarize, can you please, in your experience, in your deployments as ATS, as a vendor, as Oracle, can you highlight the challenges or the difficulties or complications that your consumer base is facing? So organizations that you've worked with, what are the biggest challenges which you've seen they go about, and how do they tackle them? How do you help them tackle these problems? Do you want to start as a vendor and then come down to the partner level?
Actually, my presentation, I mentioned the four main factors, which is considered as the main challenges for the BI system. I'm talking from BI perspective. We talked about sources of data. You have different data sources, and you are unable to integrate these data sources together to create. I will not talk from instructor perspective. I'm talking about how I can build the system first. Then let's talk about your point. As IT consultant, how can I integrate different system from ATS, from vendor A, vendor B, to create one consolidated repository where I consolidate all the data sources, then I can start creating the report. Who will create the report? Based on what? We have another team that can create the data, modeling your data, what you need to see in the dashboard. This is the second level. The third level, which is very important, and as I said and with the demo, we show you a graphical interface, which is a friendly interface. You can just use it with the clicks. Drill down. I have, as an instructor, I want to monitor my classes. I want to see what's happening right now. I have a problem related to the student, related to the fails, etc. Then give you the drill down capabilities. The complexity, we have a complexity, yes, especially with the higher education. As I said, it's difficult to transform from analytics to action. How I can do this, I already mentioned it. To go more detail about how we can avoid the complexity, we need to follow the best practices that we have, etc.
All right. Mahmoud, do you want to add anything to this?
I will address another area of the challenges we face in the implementations. And basically, the implementation is a win-win to have it successful. So for me to succeed, I need the organization or the university to be ready for such change, for such implementation. So the readiness of the applications is a major factor. The availability of data as well. Good understanding of the current system, running system is a must in this situation. Plus, the continuous development and using the tool is something major for the long term. As far as other challenges, fortunately in this domain, we've been for a while, we've done a couple of implementations. And we have a relatively big customer base that's focused on the same business. So during the years and the number of implementations, we've gained some kind of best practices and experience, which we come and put it on the table from day one. This will eliminate the gap and requirements gathering process, or at least initially, and then we get people started.
All right, fantastic. I hope it touches upon a couple of challenges. Can I open up to further discussions? Any further questions? Analytics is a very hot area, so there's there's a lot of, in fact, what we've heard from our previous events where a lot of CIOs participate is in 2013 in particular, analytics and cloud were the two areas which maximum CIOs were scoping for investments this year. So it's not something which is planned, it's something which is actually happening right now. Is there any experiences that you want to share with us? Any questions? Don't be shy. There's one here, please.
Before the implementation of this advanced technology in teaching or in the educational situation, we need to change the culture of people who deal with such technology, because actually we have been accustomed, I mean most teachers have been accustomed to the traditional methods of teaching. So it's very important to change the culture first of all, because you cannot apply on people who do not understand or are not psychologically ready to accept such technology. So this is very important, because I think that the use of such advanced techniques in teaching or mechanization of teaching in general comes at the expense of the traditional role of the teacher. So how to change the culture, this is very important.
That's a very interesting point, and this is maybe not only applicable to analytics, but to the entire event, that technology can be very disruptive to your traditional methods of teaching, and I think this will be touched upon as we go along. Do you have anything particular to add to this?
Actually, this is one way of looking at it, but the other way, the technology itself is adapting and developing to support the changes for the end user and their current culture. For example, initially, the older versions of this BI tools used to come with some rigid UI interface. These days, the output or the results are being tailored to your handheld device with a very easy to use techniques who can, any kind of end user can access and get the right information wherever he needs. The other way to look at it also is you need to do the decisions anyways, so why not to do it on a evidence and concrete base instead of guessing and other techniques as well. So it's there, technology is there to help you develop and make life easier basically.
Fantastic. I think the summary of this would be to make sure that technology supports what or complements the teacher's efforts and actions, and not challenges it too much because of its nature of being disruptive. Mohammed, do you want to add anything to this from vendor? Okay, fantastic. I don't see any further questions. Is there any questions? Please raise your hand if you have any questions. No, okay, fantastic. So we do a quick raffle. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you.